Okay, guys, good morning, and thank you for the very, very good idea you had, and which is that I'm going first to read the texts in Dutch. And so you can listen first. It's a very good exercise to learn to listen and to understand. So we have two texts today, number 13 and 14. So I'm going to read them first. You can listen to them. Ruzie over schilderij. Er is ruzie in de Spaanse politiek over het schilderij Guernica. Guernica is een stad in het Spaanse gebied Baskenland. In 1937 wierp het Duitse leger bommen op de stad. De Duitsers hielpen de Spaanse leider Franco bij de burgeroorlog in het land. De schade was enorm en er waren veel slachtoffers. Guernica is ook een schilderij. Picasso schilderde het in 1937. Het is zijn reactie op de bommen. Het schilderij hangt al 35 jaar in een museum in Madrid. De regering van Baskenland wil het werk een tijd in een museum in Bilbao hangen. Zo wil ze het bombardement in 2027 herdenken. Maar het museum in Madrid wil het werk niet verplaatsen. Het is kwetsbaar, zegt het museum. Daarom is er ruzie. And the second text, before we analyze everything together, the second text is mentale problemen door sociale media. In de Verenigde Staten zegt een jonge vrouw dat ze mentale problemen heeft. Ze zegt dat het komt door sociale media. Ze startte een rechtszaak tegen de bedrijven van Instagram en YouTube. De jury kon documenten van binnen de bedrijven zien. Ze gaf de vrouw gelijk. De bedrijven wisten dat er een gevaar was en ze waarschuwden niet. De bedrijven moeten de vrouw samen 2,5 miljoen euro betalen. De beslissing van de jury kan grote gevolgen hebben. Alleen in de VS zijn er nog 1600 zaken zoals deze. Verliezen de bedrijven nog meer rechtszaken? Maken ze hun apps dan minder schadelijk? Meta en Google gaan in beroep tegen de beslissing. So you can listen to this, those two texts. You can listen to them again and again and again. But now we're going to translate them. And then at the end, I will say something about the simple past in Dutch. We have already talked about it, but I'm going to give some more grammar rules about it. So, ruzie means an argument. It's like a fight, but a verbal fight. So, argument over or about a painting. Schilderij is a painting. It's very hard to pronounce, especially the sch. This is two sounds. It's an S and a in your throat, and then the IJ at the end, it's pronounced like e. Schilderij. So there is an argument in Spanish politics over or concerning the painting Guernica. This is the name of a painting. Guernica is a city in the Spanish area, Basque Country. You've probably heard about Basque Country. In 1937, look at this. We have the verb and then the subject. So we first translate the subject, but remember in Dutch, we swap subject and verb if there is something in the beginning. So in 1937, the German army threw bombs on the city. And this is the simple past of to throw, and I'm going to talk about it at the end when I finished analyzing or translating the two texts. So the Germans helped, and this is the simple past of helpen, to help. They helped the Spanish leader Franco with the civil war in the country. The schade, the damage was enormous, and there were a lot of slachtoffers, victims. Guernica is also a painting. Picasso painted it in 1937. It is his reaction on the bombs. The painting hangs already 35 years in a museum in Madrid. The government of Basque Country wants, and I told you already, when you have two verbs, there is one in the beginning and one in the end. So wants to hang, all the rest in between the two, wants to hang the artwork a little time in a museum in Bilbao. If you've been to Bilbao in Spain, you know that there is a wonderful, wonderful museum, and it has a very, very nice architecture. So you can Google it or go there. Very, very nice. Zo, and zo in Dutch doesn't mean so. It's more like in that way, in that manner. She wants, and that's funny in English, because in English you will say it wants. So the regering, the government wants. She. In Dutch, you have it, he, and she. So, well, not very easy if you're not a native, but for government, we will say she. If you do not know if it's he or she, you can replace it by the word die. Die. A very good way to avoid masculine, feminine. But here it is, she. So she wants to commemorate. So like to commemorate, herdenken, the bombing. Yeah, you can say in English the bombardment, but I think you'd rather say the bombing in 2027. But the museum in Madrid, that's the subject, wants, and the other verb here at the end, wants to. Verplaatsen means to move. It's like to deplace, delocate. So wants to move the artwork not. So they do not want to move the artwork. Now, you will probably ask me, well, why have we not swapped the verb will and the subject het museum in Madrid? That's because the first word is maar. And I'm going to write here in between brackets the words that do not influence the structure of your sentence, en of maar want do not influence the structure. So means you have en of maar want, and then you have subject verb. So they're still talking about the artwork. It is too fragile. Kwetsbaar means fragile, says the museum. Therefore, there is an argument. And here you see is so subject verb have been swapped. The subject is is, but now we say is because there is another word in front of the sentence daarom. So therefore, there is an argument. Okay, guys, so we are going to text number 14. Don't hesitate. If you have questions, please ask them. and I will answer them. So, mentale problemen are mental problems because of, that's the door, because of social media. In the United States, says a young woman that introduces a subordinate clause. Subordinate clause starts with that or because or something like that. And if we have a subordinate clause, all the verbs are at the end. So that she has mental problems, says this young woman. She says that, and the that again, you will have, but I have to change this. So dat het door sociale media komt. So we have that, and then we have the verb at the end. You will probably ask me, why did I change it? Because there is an extra rule, which I do not want you to remember now. But if you have a preposition, you can, everything that goes with the preposition, you can put all that after this last verb, but forget about it for the moment. So we put the verb at the end of the sentence. She started. A rechtszaak is a case, a court case, against the companies of Instagram and YouTube. The jury could, other verb at the end, could see documents from within the companies. Yes, so we have a few simple pasts. We had starte and we have kon, and I'm going to talk about it later when I have finished analyzing this text. And we have here another simple past, gaf, coming from geven. So she, which is the jury, in English it would be it gave the woman reason. But to give reason, it means they said the woman was right. They agreed with her. So this is in fact the verb gelijk geven. It means to say that she's right. The companies knew that, we have that. And with that, we'll have the verb at the end, you see? So this is a subclause, and you see that was is at the end. So that there was a danger. Maybe I will put this on the next line so that you see it very well. And they, now it's plural, and they warned not. They did not warn. Waarschuwen means to warn, to say, watch out, this can be dangerous. The companies must or have to pay, second verb at the end, the woman together 2.5 million euro. The decision of the jury can, second verb at the end, can have great consequences or big or enormous consequences. Only in the US, you see, we swapped subject and verb. Zijn there are. Nog, even more. So 1,600 cases more. That's the nog, more. Zoals deze means like these cases. There's 1,600 more. Do companies lose? And lose is verliezen. So when you ask a question in Dutch, you just swap verb and subject. You say, lose the companies nog meer, even more court cases? Maken ze, do they make, but it really says make they, but do they make their apps then less harmful? Schadelijk is harmful. Damaging. Meta and Google. And then we have the verb gaan in beroep. In beroep gaan means to appeal. So are they going to appeal against the decision, the beslissing? So here we are. So if you have questions, do not hesitate. But I'm going to say a word about the simple past. So in English, no, in Dutch, the simple past we can make the simple past of irregular verbs, and then later we will see the regular verbs. And I took the simple past verbs from those two texts. So if we have the verb wierp, it comes from the verb werpen. Then the simple past will be singular wierp, plural wierpen, and the last one geworpen. Why do I say this? Because this is how you will learn the irregular verbs. Like in English, you will probably study eat, ate, eaten. Well, in Dutch, you will also study werpen, wierp, wierpen, geworpen. This is the infinitive, the full verb. This is the simple past, singular, plural. And this is the past participle. So normally you combine this one with the verb to have. Thrown. So it says to throw, threw, thrown. Okay? The verb hielpen, it's the simple past of the verb helpen, almost like in English. Simple past, hielp, plural, hielpen, and the past participle, geholpen. You're going to study helpen, hielp, hielpen, geholpen. Then we have was and were. So the verb is to be, zijn. It's a bit funny, but so the past is a bit like in English, was a were. And the past participle is geweest. This is been. I've been, ik ben geweest. The simple past kon is coming from the verb kunnen, to can, to be able to. Kon, plural, konden, watch out, konden. And gekund is the past participle. Gaf is coming from the verb geven, which is to give. Gaf, plural, gaven, past participle, gegeven. And maybe I should also write the translation. It means to throw. It means to help. It means to be. It means to be able to. And it means to give. Right? And then we have the verb wisten. It's also simple past, and it comes from the verb weten, to know. So we have I knew, they knew, and we have known, which is the verb to know. Right. So those are irregular verbs. There are more regular verbs. If you want more of them, please let me know. But you can start already with those. And then you have the regular ones. And remember, how do you make the regular ones? So this verb is schilderen. It's to paint. Schilderen. So we are going to take away the en. So we have the basic part, which is schilder. And then we're going to add de or te. And then we need again our soft ketchup. You remember that? Let me put it here. So we have soft ketchup. And do you know why we use it? So I'm going to see, is the R, the end of this basic part, is the R in soft ketchup? No. Then I will add de, singular, and den, schilderden, plural. Okay? Starte, this one is coming from starten. It means to start. Easy. Okay, I'm going to take the basic part. I take away the en, so it's going to be start. I'm going to look at the last T. Yes, the T is in soft ketchup, so then I will have to add te for singular and ten for plural. I have the verb waarschuwen. So the verb is waarschuwen, which means to warn. Okay, I'm going to take the basic part. So I'm just taking away en. So I take waarschuw. Okay. The W. I look at the W. Is the W in soft ketchup? No. So I will have to add de. And for the plural, waarschuwden. En. Oops, that's not so good. Let me do it like this. Okay. So I hope this is clear, guys. And if you have questions, please ask them. Anything? Yeah, there's one more thing I have to say because Mahermo, he is watching this podcast. He said it's very hard to pronounce ingang and doorgang. Okay, so you will pronounce in, like in English, almost in. And then we have the part gang. The end of gang is exactly like the word king. If I take the word king, it's this ng, king. Doorgang, ingang. Door, it's quite easy, huh? Door. Normally you say r. And then gang, the end is again like king. Ingang, doorgang, Mahermo. I wish you a very, very nice day and please ask me questions. See you soon. Bye-bye.